You're listening to Systemic Error Podcast. The failure was designed.
Ex-DOGE worker may have taken sensitive info on millions to new job. Whistleblower by Matthew Chapman. The Inspector General for the Social Security Administration is investigating after a whistleblower alleged an official installed by tech billionaire Elon Musk's Department of Government Efficiency Initiative took a flash drive full of sensitive beneficiary information to his new employer. According to the Washington Post, this allegation, if proven, would constitute an unprecedented breach of security protocols at an agency that serves more than 70 million Americans. The complaint alleges the former DOGE software engineer, who worked at the Social Security Administration last year before starting a job at a government contractor in October, allegedly told several coworkers that he possessed two tightly restricted databases of U.S. citizens' information and had at least one on a thumb drive. The databases, called Numident and the Master Death File, include records for more than 500 million living and dead Americans, including social security numbers, places and dates of birth, citizenship, race and ethnicity, and parents' names. The complaint does not include specific dates of when he is said to have told colleagues this information, but at least one of the alleged events unfolded around early January, according to the complaint. The report continued. While working at DOGE, the engineer had approved access to Social Security data. The whistleblower says this DOGE employee told him he was transferring the database info to his personal computer so that he could sanitize the data before using it at the company. The Post did not disclose the name of the employee or their subsequent employer, as the allegations were not verified. However, an attorney for the employee denied any wrongdoing. DOGE, which was established to look for ways to cut government waste, caused a series of crises at the Social Security Administration last year, including a massive backlog of cases spurred by a reduction in staff.
Our analysis, the alleged breach, a symptom of a bigger malaise. In a revelation that sounds like the plot of a cyber dystopian novel, a whistleblower has brought to light allegations so severe they could only originate from the corridors of a government flirting dangerously with techno-oligarchy. The center of this controversy is an official from Elon Musk's Department of Government Efficiency DOGE initiative, accused of treating the Social Security Administration SSA as a personal data buffet. Unprecedented breach of security. The term unprecedented is often thrown around with reckless abandon, but in the case of the alleged security breach at the SSA, it's a gross understatement. The SSA, a cornerstone of the American social safety net, serving over 70 million citizens, finds itself embroiled in a scandal that reads like a cautionary tale against the privatization and Silicon Valleyization of government functions. If the allegations hold water, we're looking at a breach involving the sensitive data of over 500 million Americans. This isn't just a leak. It's a veritable data deluge. The DOGE initiative, efficiency or liability? Elon Musk's DOGE was ostensibly created to cut through governmental red tape, promising a leaner, more efficient machine. Instead, what we've witnessed is a series of crises, the most egregious being a mammoth backlog at the SSA, exacerbated by staffing cuts. The irony of a department aimed at government efficiency precipitating such disorder cannot be overstated. It's akin to a firefighter inadvertently fanning the flames. The allegations, according to the whistleblower, a former DOGE software engineer boasted about having possession of two highly sensitive databases, the Numident and the Master Death File. These are not mere spreadsheets. They are the digital DNA of the nation, containing social security numbers, birth dates, and other personal identifiers of more than 500 million Americans. The alleged intent to sanitize this data for use at a private company is not only ethically dubious, but hints at cavalier disregard for privacy and security protocols that are supposed to protect citizens from identity theft and fraud. The response: an attorney for the accused has denied any wrongdoing, a predictable first line of defense. Yet, the silence from DOGE and Musk's empire is deafening. In an era where data is more valuable than gold, the lack of accountability and transparency is a glaring indictment of the DOGE initiative's priorities. Conclusion: a call for accountability. This incident should serve as a wake-up call. The allure of Silicon Valley solutions to government inefficiency cannot come at the cost of basic security and privacy protections. The SSA's mission is to provide financial support and services, not to supply a data trove for the tech elite's experiments. As the Inspector General's investigation unfolds, one hopes for a thorough accounting of how such a breach could have occurred and who, if anyone, will be held accountable. But beyond the immediate scandal, it's time for a broader reckoning with the ideology that suggests government services are ripe for disruption by the tech sector. Efficiency should never be an excuse for endangering the public trust. You've been listening to Systemic Error. Thanks to Raw Story for today's article with the automated voices of Amy and Ryan. Thanks for listening.